Now, he didn't just disagree. He called out the deception head on from former White House press secretary KJP. Now, Stephen A. Smith is not a Republican, but he can't stomach the lies anymore either. And if you thought the Biden cover-up was just a right-wing conspiracy, just buckle up.
You were not the White House press secretary when you showed up on ABC's The View a couple of months ago. You were talking major stuff then. You were not the White House press secretary. You were an American citizen who was not working in the White House. What the hell you going on the show for then? Bloviating about Joe Biden and how he was alert and he was spry and he was a great commander-in-chief and he was sharp and all of this stuff. I don't have it clipped in front of me because I just saw the story. You're lucky I don't have time to pull it up. But I'm fully aware of the fact that you were not the White House press secretary when you were on The View spewing the same stuff you had spewed when you were the White House press secretary.
Facts.
So all bets are off. You didn't have to do that, but you chose to. Live with your decisions. Live with your decisions. You didn't have to do that, but that's what you chose to do. You chose to go front and center and still spew the same party line. So what the book's going to tell us? The book's going to tell us more about the Democrats. Is the book going to be an extension of Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson's book, Original Sin? Yet another Democrat coming out and telling us about stuff that a whole bunch of stuff on the right was telling us, but y'all swore we shouldn't listen to while y'all were engaging in cancel culture, while y'all were engaging in excoriating anybody that called the Democratic Party out for what the hell was going on. That's what we supposed to do now? That's what we supposed to do. We're supposed to listen to you now. Okay. I'll do that. Karine Jean-Pierre, you are more than welcome to come on the Stephen A. Smith Show and explain your book and what it's going to say. But not only why we didn't hear from you while you were the White House press secretary, which is very understandable, but how come we didn't hear that from you afterwards? Why were we hearing the same stuff after you left the White House?
Valid question.
That you were saying while you were in the White House.
When a mainstream cultural voice like Stephen A. starts criticizing Biden's press secretary, man, that says a lot. And why is he more honest than her? Stephen A. said what most liberals, self-proclaimed liberals, are whispering but afraid to admit publicly, obviously. How long can this administration or that administration try to spin a narrative before it all falls apart? And right on cue, here comes the legacy players to try to do damage control, y'all.
Oh, I think you have to pay attention to them, but all I can say is whenever I was around him, his mind was clear, his judgment was good, and he was on top of his brief.
That's right.
But look at that debate, for example. Mm-hmm. What happened in the 10 days before his debate, and what were the White House staff thinking? He went to Europe and back twice, and then he went to California once. Yeah. And he was 80 years old. What the heck is he doing that for?
And sick. Yeah.
So why was that allowed to happen? So there's a lot of questions I don't know. All I know is I think we should think less about that and more about the future. Yeah. We now know President...
That's right.
We know President Reagan had clear signs of Alzheimer's in his last 2 years. We know Woodrow Wilson, after his stroke, couldn't make any decisions, and his wife made them. Now, some people think that's best of both worlds. Get to what guy said it up there. Somebody else making the calls. But I mean, we're laughing about this, but it's, in my view, we should spend more time thinking about the future.
Now, Clinton says Biden was sharp as ever. But I want you to be completely honest with me. Do you believe that? Because that is clearly not what we were seeing. That's not what I was seeing. And the audience, silent. I heard some nervous laughter there, but they know. Clinton is a master of spin. Was this calculated? Is this really about defending Biden? Or is it defending a Democrat brand? Think about it. Ooh. Oh, no, it reeks of desperation for me, not confidence. And the reason why they have to spin it is because of clips like this.
The impact, what happened on July the 6th had international repercussions beyond what I think any of you can fully understand. The impact, what happened on July the 6th had international repercussions beyond what I think any of you can fully understand.
One more time.
The impact, what happened on July the 6th had international repercussions beyond what I think any of you can fully understand.
Oh, my gosh. Biden, once again, confused basic facts. Okay, y'all see this. He said that July 6th instead of January 6th. My bad, I couldn't even get my speech together. He got me over here messing up my sentences. It might seem small, but that happened constantly. And I don't think anybody on his administration was being totally honest about that. Like, what if Trump said something like that? Would it have been ignored the way they ignored it? Why did the media at the time act like it wasn't happening regularly? Gaffe after gaffe, man. And yet we're told it's fine. It's fine. No, it's not. But now, it's not just commentators and old allies raising eyebrows, y'all. Congress is stepping in. James Comer subpoenas Biden's doctor?
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer subpoenaed former President Biden's personal physician. Dr. Kevin O'Connor refused to appear for a voluntary interview, and the Republicans want him to answer questions as part of the investigation into Biden's physical and mental condition while in office, and also this alleged cover-up of his decline. Congressman Jim Jordan explaining why they're pressing for answers from Biden's inner circle.
There was serious talk about the 25th Amendment. There were actions taken that Joe Biden didn't know what was going on, and people went ahead and did things and made decisions. I think we're going to need a whistleblower, but you can't get that until you start this ball rolling and start the investigation that Pam Bondi is going to do and that Chairman Comer and the Oversight Committee have undertaken as well.
House Oversight Committee Chairman
James Comer issued a subpoena to Biden's personal doctor. Why? Because questions about Biden's health aren't getting answers, and we, the American people, deserve answers. And we're demanding them under oath. Why did that doctor refuse to testify is the question that I got. Seriously. What is the White House afraid of revealing? We don't need no fluff about this. We need the facts. And I think I'm about to sneeze. I don't know why I just can't sneeze once like normal people. But if you think all of this is about one bad week, think again. This has been building for years. You think I'm lying?
You're on government oversight and accountability. You had a banger yesterday with Karine Jean-Pierre leaving the Democrat Party, and you're saying she needs to be subpoenaed. She needs to be called in. What's going to be the process there? Is that currently in deliberation right now?
So this is a subpoena that Chairman Comer will need to sign off on, and I think that this is something we need to do immediately. Since I've served on oversight, I've heard, we have to go through the process. We should start with lower level staff. We should bring somebody in for a deposition, and that might take 10 days, might take 2 weeks, and maybe they show up and maybe they don't, and if they don't, then they get a subpoena. I'm done with all that. We have the majority. Our time is short. We don't know what the midterms are going to look like, And I want to start issuing these subpoenas, just like the Democrats did. They didn't care about process or certainly due process or anything. They cared about their agenda and delivering for their base. This is huge. I want Karine Jean-Pierre to come in before oversight and answer to the lies that she told from the White House podium as press secretary about Joe's cognitive function or cognitive decline, and explain her lies to the American people. I want her to come in before her book is released. I don't want her book to have cover for her or Democrats to be able to pick that apart. She needs to come in and answer before Congress why she lied for years to the American people. And also, Benny, let me just remind you, she also went on The View after she was press secretary and didn't have an obligation to defend Joe Biden. And she certainly was not an independent then. She was still a radical lying Democrat.
Yes. So what would you ask her if she was before your committee?
I would first ask her, what was your contact with Joe Biden? Were you one of the members of the staff that was boxed out? Were you allowed to have face-to-face conversations? When you said that he was well, did you personally see that? Or did Ron Klain tell you that? Did Jill Biden or her chief of staff tell you that he was well and cognitively stable? Or did you see it firsthand? There were many times that she spoke directly for Joe Biden. And I want to know if she heard that from him or if that was something that was typed up by an intern or someone else in the White House. Did she personally use the auto pen? Did she see the use of the auto pen? The White House isn't that big. The Capitol is much bigger than the White House is, and I see a lot that happens here. So I would love to know the inner workings there, and really what her motive was for lying to the American people. Was it just to win an election? Was it to keep her job? What actually qualified her? Was it her ability to fabricate stories or just the fact that she was a black lesbian?
Now, this is Lauren Boebert. I believe Boebert, how you say her name? Now, she wants KJP under oath. We all agree. I want that, too. She's not just asking what she knew. She's asking who wrote her scripts and who ordered the silence, basically. Did she knowingly mislead the public, basically? Is this about protecting Biden or protecting power? Is a question I would have put up in there. Now, when a press secretary becomes a part of the cover-up, it's time for consequences. And now the spotlight is shifting to those who helped hide this truth because of this.
Probably have the least seniority of anyone ever to enter this august body.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. Down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
I think if someone had amnesia the last 4 years and came back and tuned this in, they'd assume it was a two-person race.
In South Africa are the people who are being repressed by that ugly white regime. They spent $250 billion last time with Harry and Louise.
We've had candidates before who attempted to get elected by appealing to our fears.
If everybody wore masks and social distance between now and January, we'd probably save up to 100,000 lives.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. Rock and I think it's a right for people to have bad and kept care.
No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Sex tender. Why?
A damn liar, man. That's not true. Let him go.
I got hairy legs, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down. Read the poll, Jack. You guys are all the same. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, it was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted.
So I say to you, This is no longer about opinion. It's about evidence. If Biden was CEO, he'd be removed for incapacity. But as the president, he's just having a bad day. They got caught again, yo. But this time, there's subpoenas. Voices from both sides saying the same thing. And it can't be hidden anymore. Let me know in the comments. What was the moment that broke the illusion for you? I seriously want to know that. Y'all know my story. But what was the gaffe? Was it the gaffe, I guess? Or gaffes, rather. This is a new word that I'm learning, y'all. As you can see. Was it the silence from the media? Or is it the blatant lies being told on camera and being told that you're not seeing what you literally seen with your own eyes? Y'all to do me a favor. I never usually ask this, but like this video, subscribe if you're tired of being gaslit, and share this with a person who still believes the spam, man. Y'all know we about truth. Be safe. Go check out somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.